Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's time for another episode of Virtually Purchase Acquisitions. And here's the man that buys everything from Amazon, eBay, Etsy, or even Fanatics and Best Buy. A man who's pretty good cyber shopper himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima's Shenanigans, 1977, episode 2144. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 100th edition of Virtually Purchase Acquisitions. Now, I want to address something here right now as far as that is concerned. This is, I know it'd be a little bit like a drum related, and I'm angry at this and all, but there was supposed to be another item that I was supposed to have today. But it was mistakenly, it was a mistake that was, the package was delivered to another city in another state. And I was not very happy about it, to be totally honest. It was really, really upsetting to me because imagine you spent money on something and ends up not delivered to your, I don't know what was up. I contacted the seller, has not said a thing. I've contacted Ask eBay for help, see if they can try to contact the seller, and they usually respond within 24 hours. And yeah, I was not very happy. It was supposed to be on one of the Doc Stalker shirts in 5XL, but unfortunately, it did not. They said it was delivered, but it wasn't delivered to my area right here. But I do have a package in, though. However, so addressing that other package situation. Hopefully, I am officially on vacation. Just to let you know, I'm officially on vacation, and by hopefully sometime this week, I will get an answer. I will update you guys on the situation, whatnot, and everything else. And it has not been a very good day as far as that is concerned. Now here's another thing, another issue. I know we talked about the Nintendo Switch too. I was on a group called Retro Game Collectors group, and I posted a comment, because some people say, "Oh, there's more important things than gaming," and I say, why you're on the page, why you're on the page if it's, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're confused about what you're trying to say." What I'm trying to say is this: that you want to, listen. I know people like retro gaming. That's great. That's fine. But when you say there's more important things than gaming on a retro gaming group, that's going to bring a lot of heat, and you saying that in some people's minds is that you don't like retro gaming, and that's going to bring a lot of hate, and that's probably what I was trying to get at. I don't think you should be saying something like that. I can understand if you have families of your own, that's fine. I'll respect that. But a lot of people have been starting to get me some heat, so I said, well, I'll leave the group for the heck of it, I'll leave the group. I'll still like retro gaming, and it's like, oh, I feel sorry for you. I'm not supposed to say retro gaming is important in your life. No, it's not what I'm trying to say. It's that some people are going to take that as such. You know what I mean? Like you're not focused. Some people will take it as you don't like retro gaming then, in other words. So, well, I can understand where you're going. Is that some other folks in their minds do not think that, So, unfortunately, so I decided, well, I'm going to leave the group if people are going to treat me like this and start laughing and making fun of my quote and not understanding what I'm getting. So, I decided to leave the group, even though, because of the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders delayed because of the tariffs thing and everything else, and and everything else in between. So, but I'm not concerned about the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm happy with my Nintendo Switch for now. If they decided to take down the price, if I wanted to get the system right away, I would be looking forward to Mario Kart World. That's my personal opinion. If I had a favorite game that I wanted to play in Nintendo Switch 2, it would be the Mario Kart World game. So, well, it is it is it is vacation time for me. As I'm officially on vacation as of 11 o'clock a.m. this morning. Went out got a couple things, and I also got a package from eBay, and it's not the same package that delayed and everything else like that. So unfortunately, I'm hoping things will work out. I do have a plan B though. However, should plan A kind of falls by the wayside. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So it is what it is. Things like this happen. Things like this happen, and everything else in between. So hopefully I'll get some answers this coming over the weekend. And if I do, I will update you guys on the situation. It's like my item was delivered, but I didn't think it was going to be, and come to find out it was delivered to another state. I don't know if anybody kind of read what was going on. So it was sent to a city in Pennsylvania. Wait a minute. I might have an answer here right now. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. So, anyways, I recently viewed that, so I'm hoping. Yeah, so there is there was no news on that. So, unfortunately, when I get some news, I will update you on the eBay situation. eBay can be really crazy sometimes, And like I said, I've contacted the proper folks, and let's see what happens. It's a beautiful day out today. In fact, it's almost 70. When I checked my phone, they said according to my phone it was 67 degrees here in New Bedford. Would you believe that? 67 degrees, man. All right. Okay, it is the Pro Wrestling magazine that I ordered. And, yep. Ladies and gentlemen, the Women's 250. The Women's 250, and on the front cover of it is my girl. One of my favorite late wrestling ladies. Timeless Toni Storm, #1 in the Women's 250. And, yeah, I'll tell you what. So Timeless Toni Storm, #1, the Timeless one. So yep, the full Mae Young Classic, and #2 is Jordan Grace. So this was published back in 2024, last year, a few months ago. So, yep. So Timeless Toni Storm, named #1, named numero uno, and I'm very, very excited. I also got the Adventure Time. I'm gonna keep the cardboard. I have an idea for the cardboard, even though it says Barnes & Noble on this one, but yep, it says Barnes & Noble on all of them, but. Well, I'll keep the backs and I got an idea. Always come up with something good, let's see. So that means I got 2 wrestling magazines of. I got the one with Mina Shirakawa, which is May 2025, and I got Timeless Toni Storm. And I got another one with Timeless Toni Storm on the way as well. So yeah, I bought this one off Barnes & Noble the other day, and this is they came in from eBay. So let's see what let's see if yep. So yeah, so the Women's 250. I gotta check it out. See if and also got the lovely Mina Shirakawa. So I got another one coming in with the lovely Tony Storm on it. So that is what I got for today. Well, like I said, I was supposed to get a Darkstalkers shirt. If you don't know what Darkstalkers is, it's Capcom fighting game with all the movie monsters in it. Like you want to know when a fight between a vampire and a werewolf, and it's like when you want to punch somebody in the face, boom. So, anyways, like the only Capcom fighting game you want to punch a vampire in the face. Would you believe that? Anyways, so I will give you the update on that whole situation, and apparently it's a shirt similar from that from another seller, from a different seller. So I'll probably have to do something about it once I'll make some claims and everything else in between. And I thought I had it, but then it was like, oh my gosh, it's in another city and state. How did that happen? No, what was the name of that city in Pennsylvania that it was delivered to? It begins with a C. It begins with a C. Give me a second here so I can. I haven't heard anything yet. Tracking available. Gotta track the package. Cochranton, Florida. Somebody's gonna look at that. What's the name of the city in Cochranton? I'm not kidding you. Cochranton, Florida. Oh, no, Cochranton, Pennsylvania. You know what? I'm still mad at this was, but I'm sure that person in Cochranton, Florida going, this is not mine. I'm sure that person's going to be saying, I think he just delivered to the, how's it delivered to me? Because I meant to be delivered. Well, this is a practical joke or something like Cochranton, Florida. I'm sorry, but the name Cochranton, Florida, I don't know. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up now. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to hope that there's an update the situation. So, not exactly how to celebrate my 100th episode of Virtually Purchase Acquisitions, ladies and gentlemen. But I did have the Timeless Tony Storm. That's right. This came in for me too. Looks good, huh? Looks good. Lovely lady. As usual. So, so that is all the time that we have on this episode of the show. Episode 2144 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Episode 100 of Virtually Purchase Acquisitions. Coming up next is the game of strategy, luck, knowledge, and daring. Bullseye. We'll see how I do in that. All right? I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.